Okay, so we're gonna be making some homemade chicken strips today. So you're gonna need some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. You're gonna need to have 3 containers. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, this thing follows me. Anyway, this thing's supposed to follow me. Come on, let's go over here. Anyway, you're gonna need flour, white flour. You're gonna need some panko breadcrumbs. Yeah, big plug for Kiko Man. Panko breadcrumbs and some eggs. Okay, so I got this new oven. It is a Thermador, and the top part of it has a steam option, and it also has a true convection, which I think is similar to an air fryer. It's actually an element that is in behind the fan, so when it's not just a convection oven, it's got actually hot air blowing out of the fan. So today, I've only had the oven for a few weeks, so today I'm going to try this pan that I have that came with the oven that's perforated, which obviously is for the steaming function, but I think it's actually going to work really well for these chicken bread finger, what do you call them? Chicken fingers, whatever you want to call it, chicken strips. Because the hot air is actually going to go right through the perforation. So, but for the rest of you, you can just use a regular baking sheet. If you have parchment paper to put down, that would be great for getting it crisp on all sides. And yeah. So I would like to highly recommend that you season each of these 3 things. So you've got the flour, you've got the egg, and you've got the breadcrumbs. So seasoning dry ingredients is just a way of saying get some salt and pepper in there. Also, you can put any kind of your favorite dry spices that you have in the cupboard. I like to just clean out my spice cupboard every 6 months or so and take my half-open packages of spices and put them all together in one container and shake them up. And then I have a dry rub. Let's see, some smoked paprika, maybe some chili powder, not a lot, just a little. You could put some cumin or some celery salt. It kind of just depends what you've got in your cupboard. But whatever you add to this is really going to make a big difference in how your breaded dish is going to turn out. If you don't season it, it's going to be pretty boring and you're going to be looking for something else to make it great. It's probably still going to taste really good because fresh homemade breaded anything is always really delicious because of the crunch factor and the grease factor. But I highly recommend that you season these in whatever way works for you that would appeal to your taste buds. Okay, so we've got the chicken breasts, and I would recommend by just pulling out the tenderloin first and using that as your template for the size that you want for your chicken strips. It's a perfect size. So just cut it just like that. See how they're basically the same size? So try and make the pieces as uniform as possible so that when they are in the oven, they are going to all cook at the same time. Okay, so the process for the 3-step breading is always this. So you're going to dredge your item, whether it's protein or vegetables, in flour first. Then you're going to dip it into the egg wash, your seasoned egg wash. Now dredged in the egg, and now I'm going to put them in the panko breadcrumbs, and then I like just to give it a little toss like this, and it coats it all the way around, and there they are. Now some people like to do a double crumb, but I'm going to just do a single crumb because I don't really like it too thick. So that's the process. So I am going to do a little spritzy on the pan for these chicken strips. I'm actually using a perforated pan. You can use a regular pan, but either way, this is going to get just a little spritz on here so that the chicken strips do not stick to the pan. Okay, so just to break this down for everybody one step at a time, real slow, we've got the flour, nice little coating of flour. Then we're going to dip it in the egg wash. It's nicely coated. And you're going to put it in the crumbs, toss it around, and ta-da! onto your tray. All right, we're gonna put this in the oven and bake her up. Let's check and see how our chicken strips are doing. I'd say they're looking pretty good. They've been in for almost 15 minutes. So I'm gonna take one out. Okay, so as you can see, it's quite crispy. Could use a little bit more color, I'd say. So we could turn up the oven a little bit. So I'm just gonna pop this thermometer, this meat thermometer here. And we want it to be like around 160. And this is one of the bigger pieces as well. So